Well, good morning and welcome to the show. Jeff Beals here at your service, broadcasting live high above beautiful Underwood Avenue in downtown Dundee in the KFAB Penthouse studio. Thank you for joining us. You're not going to find another show that discusses what we do, and that is the growth and development of Omaha, real estate and construction, business expansion, really anything related to Omaha becoming more vibrant, more prosperous, and maybe a little more fun. Big shout out to our title sponsors. They are Cheer Athletics, the nation's #1 all-star cheer gym, along with Dingman's Collision Center, auto body, and mechanical needs for metro area locations. Without any further ado, time to bring on my co-host, a man who's a legendary real estate deal maker from NAI, NP Dodge, Trenton Magid.
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, everyone.
Well, it's a great time of year right now. It's a little unseasonably chilly, which makes everyone think, oh my gosh, this is fall. And I understand, Amy and you went to the pumpkin patch.
Yeah, that was the first, I think, in a long time. I may have gone there once when it was not what it is today. 400 acres, 55 acres of pumpkins. But I was amazed. They're not giving anything away over there, but they step up and they make it better every
20 years?
Every year they supposedly have like a new attraction or something like that. But there are a lot of people. I was looking online afterwards, 250 to 300,000 people in like 60 or 65 days that they're open each year.
Yeah, that's crazy. In fact, I didn't even realize they're open yet, but it makes sense. I usually go about once a year, but you hadn't been there in many years.
No, I didn't even recognize it.
Yeah, well, that's pretty cool. Hey, another big event happening this week is the Rockbrook Village Art Fair. And it's a great event, but we bring it up because our very own Brad Williams will be exhibiting there. Brad does a lot for us here at Grow Omaha. He's a frequent guest host and our top photographer here in Grow Omaha. Well, he does these beautiful artistic shots. Some of them are Omaha, skyline and buildings and the Omaha landscape, but he also does a lot of nature shots. And so stop by the Rockbrook Art Fair, say hi to Brad Williams. You can meet him, look at his beautiful work. If you want to go today at Rockbrook, it's open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then tomorrow, Sunday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
He always has a great booth at BradWilliamsPhotography.com if you want to see his handiwork and very professional. And what he does for Grow Omaha is amazing. So thank him for everything he does for us and for the community.
And just a shout out to our newsletter. It's not really a shout out. It's more of a reminder. Make sure if you don't yet get the newsletter to sign up. You can do that at growomaha.com. When you're there are multiple places to sign up for the newsletter. You can also just send an email to news@growomaha.com and say, please sign me up. But I want to mention something about the newsletter that's really important. Every week we have several people that say, oh, I'm not getting the newsletter anymore, even though I signed up, or I was getting it. One of the things I want everyone to know is that we send this out to about 25,000 people all at once using a bulk email service. And you got all these different receiving emails that have different rules about bulk email, and they're worried about spam and all this sort of thing. They have firewalls. So it's not uncommon for a person to get the newsletter, then suddenly it doesn't show up. If that's happening to you, one of the things that you can do is put news@growomaha.com in your address book as if it were a person, news@growomaha.com, because that's the email that sends it. And if all else fails, we always put each newsletter on the website. So you can go to the navigation bar, click on newsletter, and the current one and all the old ones are there.
And also you have to remember that everything we do is free to the public. So our gracious sponsors cover the bills. And that allows you to sign up yourself and your friends because it's a plethora of information, 14 contributors, and whether you're looking at the newsletter, which just comes out on Thursdays, or the website, or listen to this show, we love to have you follow us and talk about us.
Well, let's get into our news of the week, our Omaha Growth and Development news. As always, it's sponsored by Eagle Mortgage. They are the premier mortgage broker here in town. And when we say mortgage broker, We're saying they are people who meet with their clients, the borrowers, and then match them with the best bank, the best lending solution possible. So when you go to Eagle Mortgage, you sit down with one of their mortgage brokers. They learn about you and what you want to do and what your finances are all about, and then match you, like I said, with the best loan. So Eagle Mortgage can help you, whether it's a traditional, VA, FHA, many other different types of loans as well. Been doing this for a long time, and you can stop by Eagle Mortgage in person at 114th and Dodge, or go to their website at eaglemortgagecompany.com. Well, Lauritsen Gardens has announced that the Marjorie K. Doherty Conservatory will be reopening to the public on September 20th, coming up here pretty soon, following a 2-phase renovation which upgraded the facility's functionality and allows for a new collection of rare and remarkable plants. So this is that big, cool indoor greenhouse thing.
Yeah.
You got to keep it up and keep it nice. And so you can go back and visit it again starting September 20th.
There's also a European car show tomorrow afternoon. Check that out at Lauritsen Gardens. I went last year, and it's a neat thing.
And then earlier this summer, Lauritsen Gardens opened this amazing, huge kids play area, outdoor play area. So if you have kids or grandkids, that would be a good spot to take them and check out and see what that's all about. We have progress on the Mueller. That is a 4-story apartment building planned for 22nd and Howard Street. That's kind of a little neighborhood pocket of downtown Omaha with quite a bit of density. A different developer just finished a 5-story apartment building there within the last year. But you may recall earlier this year, we had the developers of the Mueller on the show. Their names are Brian and Lee Mueller, and they're the ones that moved here from Boston, and we highlighted them. Anyway, this is going to be a 38-unit thing. They have broken ground, a lot of work going on there. Lundross is the contractor, and construction on that is coming along pretty nicely. So Trenton, we have a bunch of downtown and urban core development projects that went through planning board this week. And we're going to kind of bring everyone up to speed on those. And some of them are, well, they're all cool, but some of them will have a pretty big impact on what's going on downtown. Okay, so the first one is about a third of an acre parcel at 32nd and Pacific Street. There was a really cool old residential building that sat on that corner for a while. Unfortunately, it was destroyed in a fire and had to be brought down. But Scott Simrad, who has Urban Village.
Yeah, with Jerry Reimers.
Yeah, he's doing a few projects, and this is one of them. He had a few projects go through planning board this week. This will be a 3-story apartment building. The first floor will house the parking garage, which is becoming very common with a lot of these infill projects they're doing lately. 20 residences located on the upper 2 floors, and a variety of efficiency 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom units. Just about a block away.
Wait, that's only on a third of an acre?
Oh yeah, that's urban Omaha these days.
You know, Urban Village, shout out to those guys, Scott Simrad and Jerry Reimers. They've been in this for a long time now, and they are amazing what they have done in that area. Really cleaned up a lot of neighborhoods, and they go far out west as well with larger projects as well.
I was going to tell you, just a block to the north of this site was the birthplace of the famous actor Marlon Brando.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, from Omaha. And you want to know how I know that? I went, when I was looking all this stuff up, getting ready for the show, I just saw it on the map and it said birthplace of Marlon Brando. I mean, I knew he was from Omaha. So I looked up, it's just someone's house.
Yeah.
So I wonder if but it's marked on the map. I wonder if people come by and be like, are you related to Marlon Brando? Probably not.
I doubt there's a hospital there at the time.
Fair. So Scott Simrad, the same guy we were just talking about, has some other things up his sleeve that went through planning board this week. He plans to build a 3-story apartment building at 32nd and Leavenworth Street. And this is a 3.5 acre site, Trenton, so way bigger than the other one. And I'm excited about this one because it is currently a used car lot. And it is on this strip of Leavenworth Street, which is rapidly transforming. I mean, I don't know. You ever go down Leavenworth Street?
You know, we've talked about this, and 10, 15 years ago, it was like Leavenworth, lock your doors when you're going down it. And I've sold a few buildings on that street. And what's amazing is there's still a lot of parts of it that need help, but a lot of those are in developers' hands like this one.
Yeah, and it's moving rapidly. Like and I'm talking Leavenworth from Saddle Creek to downtown. And like Trenton said, that was the no-go zone for a while.
Right.
But it is apartment building after apartment building, retail storefronts, like that area just
the triangle,
the triangle just west of Park Ave. All sorts of stuff going there. And this is really kind of close to that whole triangle area. So I think you're going to continue to see more and more of that as Leavenworth transforms. Just a few blocks to the west of that is a former dollar store that's been demolished. A really cool building going in there. Just a couple blocks west of that on the south side of the street, there was another used car dealership that recently shut down. That's going to become a 4 or 5 story apartment.
And this is the case where incentives, whether it's tax increment financing, which is TIF, and then historic tax credits and PACE, which is for energy efficiency and stuff like that. Those are very good uses of incentives to really continue transforming Leavenworth corridor.
Yeah, and it'll be fun to see what happens in that corridor and how it continues to grow and development. But it is fueled in large part because it connects the Med Center and downtown, and just to the north of it is all of the great stuff happening in Midtown. Habitat for Humanity plans to build new housing on vacant lots near 26th and Corby Street in North O. It is directly east of the City of Omaha's Fleet Maintenance Facility, if you're familiar with that. Plans call for 27 housing units consisting of single-family attached and detached houses and townhomes. Building sizes range quite a bit in that area. They got $1.7 million in tax increment financing, $7 million project altogether. Construction will begin in October and be complete by August of next year.
It's so great to go to those areas and see brand new homes, landscaping, and urban renewal, and it just has such a great sense of community.
Well, and here's another one that we wrap up with just like that, another great urban infill project. The planning department approved a 28-unit subdivision east of 40th and Franklin Street. Holy Name Housing Corporation is involved in this. They do great work. 28 two-bedroom townhome units on 2.8 acres of land, and this will be adjacent to the NRD Beltline Trail, which is
cool.
That Beltline Trail in North O is generating a lot of collateral real estate development, which is pretty encouraging.
That's
pretty
the
exciting.
former railroad track, or
Beltline Railroad Track. Yeah, that was the one that went up, kind of worked its way up through from South Omaha into North Omaha through Midtown. At one time, went trains right on the western edge of UNMC.
Wow.
And even in the UNMC area, if you kind of look at a map, you're like, oh, yeah, I can tell there was a railroad track there because they're just the way the development patterns have not completely covered it up.
Great use of that strip.
Yes, indeed. Okay, just a couple other quick stories before we wrap up news of the week today. The first one, Child Saving Institute and Children's Square USA, two Omaha nonprofits, have merged together. And together they have a combined 275 years of history serving Omaha.
We'll take it.
Oh, I thought you looked like you were going to say something. The merger is expected to expand support for children and families across the metro. Now, CSI, Child Saving Institute, we've been talking about them a lot in the last year or two because they've done a huge expansion of their primary facility right at Saddle Creek Road and Dodge Street. Looks awesome. It's pretty much about done right now. The combined organizations will operate under the Child Saving Institute name.
You have to appreciate Omaha's stakeholders, and we talk about them a lot on this show, but there are a wide group of people and from all different walks of life, and not just the buildings, but the social services and the outreach. And if you have any issues, whether it's mental or physical or financial, there's a lot of resources. Ask around because people are generous in Omaha, and I love that sense of community.
Absolutely. And we wrap up today with one little feel-good story. We're going to have a ceremonial official ribbon cutting event hosted by the City of Omaha coming up on September 10th, which is only a few days away. And that is to cut the ribbon on the Baby Bob Bridge, the $7.5 million connector bridge. Some say it's a bridge to a bridge, and it is, but it's a very important bridge to a bridge. It will be Like I said, September 10th, 2 p.m. if you want to stop by. And you might be thinking, oh, isn't that open? Yeah, it opened last spring. But sometimes it takes a while to do these official ceremonial things.
It's been a soft opening, ladies and gentlemen, for a year.
Half-year soft opening. So, but it is a great project. The Baby Bob itself is 1,100 feet long. So that's not bad for a baby bridge. But the real Bob Carey pedestrian bridge over the big river is even longer. If you haven't been down in that area, right on the riverfront by the Bob Carey Bridge and the Baby Bob, it's really great. And the Baby Bob has further activated it. I've walked it a couple times this summer. There's just people all over the place, and it attracts tourists.
And if you did not think of the Baby Bob, the Chili's advertisements while we were talking about that, you are alone.
Or maybe it means you don't watch a lot of TV.
Or commercials.
With that, we wrap up the news of the week, brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. When we come back, it's going to be, well, more news of the week. We don't have a guest this week, so Trent and I are going to go through a lot of different Grow Omaha discussion topic things. Coming up, we're going to talk about what's going on at the airport. We're going to talk about new power generation and even more exciting things than that. So stay with us. You're listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, along with Cheer Athletics on News Radio 1110 KFAB. Rosie, we don't care who you love. You can love anyone you want. All right, welcome back to the show. This is Jeff Beals. I'm sitting next to Trenton Magid, and we are the hosts of Grow Omaha, the area's only show that talks about the growth and development of your favorite city. We're brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, along with Cheer Athletics. And when we talk about Cheer Athletics, we're talking about one of the best ways to get your kids involved for learning communication, teamwork, leadership, how to be competitive in a sportsmanlike way. Love Cheer Athletics. There are about 18 of them in the world, and the most important one is located right here in the Omaha metro area, southwest of Highways 50 and 370 in beautiful Papillion, Nebraska. Well, I've got a little more news updates. The first one, we'll just kind of get this out of the way because no one would say this topic is the most sexy, glamorous, exciting one, but it's important. Two national firms this week. Trenton issued high bond ratings for the city of Omaha. S&P Global and Moody's gave us really nice marks, and we got to hear I'm going to share with you some of the reasons.
This is not easy to get, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's very, very important because it keeps our our bonds in good condition.
Fiscally responsibility gives us more money for things.
Yeah. So S&P said Omaha's position as a premier economic center in Nebraska, its history of healthy operating performance, its sizable reserve balances, prudent financial management practices, and long-term planning for capital and infrastructure needs were really desirable and had an impact on us getting their positive rating. Similarly, Moody's cited Omaha's role as the economic hub of Nebraska and said its outlook reflects an expectation that Omaha will continue to benefit from long-standing institutions like Offutt Air Force Base, UNMC, Creighton University, and multiple Fortune 500 companies.
Solid job base.
All right, so enough talking about bond ratings, but it's important to know that they're good and you can feel good about that.
If we pay less interest on all of our borrowings, then we're good.
Yeah, that's a fair point. All right, let's talk about Eppley a little bit. Eppley Airport, as you know, is undergoing a $1 billion transformation. That includes the glass-covered and redone front driveway, which is done. And it also includes the terminal expansion, modernization, and all-around upgrade. A couple comments first, and then we have a little news peg related to all of this. The first comment, some people say, if the glass cover is done and the new driveways have been created in front of the airport, how come we still have to do passenger drop-off and pickup on the first floor of the garage? And the reason for that is the airport authority is not going to open the full frontal drive area until the central pavilion building is constructed. That's probably a year away. And so you still have one more year of drop-offs and pickups on the first floor of that parking garage. The only thing they are doing underneath the glass canopy right now is they are allowing shuttle buses to pick up and drop off people. But other than that, they don't want a lot of traffic right next to where they're building the big front entrance.
I think they're doing a great job coordinating it. I think people are used to it that travel frequently. And you can still stay in the cell phone lots until your friend gets off the plane or whatever, and then pull right into the garage to pick them up.
Yeah, it works. It works pretty well. And kudos to the airport authority because it is so easy to get through there even during construction. I was thinking it was going to be a nightmare when this construction was going on, and it can be confusing, but people are moving through there a lot better than I anticipated when all of this was first announced. And, we still have another year or two of construction left.
You and I both travel nationally and internationally. And if you go through, like in the last couple of months, I've been through Dallas and Miami and some others. And the difference is that we have human wayfinders on stools that ask people where they want to go. They explain how the midsection is cut off and whether you want to be on the north or the south. So kudos to Omaha Eppley Airfield that we are punching above our weight, as they say. And
all this construction work will pay off because I'm looking at an aerial right now that the airport authority shot just within the last couple weeks. And
it's on the Grow Omaha website.
You can really see that long corridor coming together. So it's coming along nicely. Here's the news angle this week. U.S. Representative Don Bacon out of Nebraska, who represents the Omaha area, has secured a $7 million grant to help with the international arrivals component of this new airport. We've talked about this before, but the new airport terminal will have a federal inspection services facility for scheduled international arrivals. Not just like, we've got a charter. We're already an international airport because we can take international charters.
International airfield.
But we're going to get scheduled international flights, most likely, probably about a 99% chance. There will be a sterile corridor, as they call it, once you get off the plane, which means
it's hermetically sealed, ladies and gentlemen.
You can't go anywhere other than straight to the customs area. So all of that's going to happen. And kudos to Congressman Bacon for working on that. The international arrivals part will be about the last thing completed in 2028. We'll be using a lot of the new terminal on other parts of the building long before that international arrivals thing opens. And by the way, the highly, highly, highly most likely first scheduled international flight will probably be Cancun in Mexico because
makes sense.
In the winter, we already in Omaha average about 150 passengers a day between Omaha and Cancun. So that will almost certainly happen. One last thing before we wrap up this segment. Omaha Public Power District held a ribbon cutting this week for the new Turtle Creek Station at 168th and Fairview Road in Sarpy County. For some of you, this may not mean anything, but it's a 450 megawatt plant, which is a lot.
It's getting up there.
And we need it. And it is fueled by natural gas. And so that's a nice addition. And then within the next few weeks, OPPD expects to bring online a 150 megawatt gas-fired plant, really close to 120th and Military. So Trenton, a couple things about this. One, very important because we have a growing population, and we also have a lot of data centers.
No question about it. When we talked about at the top of the show going to Vallis Pumpkin Patch, if you drive south on 180th Street to get right there, you see these huge high-tension lines. And it's amazing how big those are. And I'm sure they're built for additional capacity in the future.
And that is the wrap-up of this segment. And so we have 2 segments to go, and each one of them has something special planned in the next segment. We're going to be talking about billionaires in Nebraska, among other things. So stay with us. You're listening to Jeff and Trenton on Grow Omaha, brought to you by Cheer Athletics, along with Dingman's Collision Center on News Radio 1110 KFAB. And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beals here, sitting next to Trenton Magid. We are brought to you by Cheer Athletics along with Dingman's Collision Center. Dingman's is Best of Omaha award winner very, very frequently because they do such a great job taking care of your car. And normally when you think of Dingman's, you think, okay, auto body repair. So if you're in an accident, God forbid, or you get a door ding or a scratch, hail damage, yes. They do all that, and nobody in town does a better job of it, and there's nowhere else I would go for that. But also, they do have some mechanical services as well, Trenton.
Yes, sir. 120th and West Maple Road, right next to the auto body. And they are, you just go there, free estimates, and they'll take care of you.
Yeah, Dingman's Collision Center, 4 metro area locations. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for your Noddle Companies Commercial Real Estate Development Spotlight of the Week, brought to you by Noddle Companies, a premier Omaha real estate development firm doing projects in and around Omaha and, frankly, all over the country here in town. Noddle Companies is famous for Exarban Village, the Builders District. They got an amazing medical campus west of Village Point. Noddle Companies also is building a very impressive mixed-use development as part of Gretna Landing, northwest of 192nd and Highway 370 in fast-growing Gretna. So Noddle Companies does it all. And today we're going to talk about a certain Noddle Companies project. It is the Builders District. And the Builders District is that area just a little bit west of Charles Schwab Field and north of Interstate 80, east of Creighton University in North Downtown. And in the Builders District, kind of the corporate anchor is Kiewit's World Headquarters, but we also have a lot of other things in that area. And I'm looking at a map right now of the Builders District, and there's a lot more to come there. We know that pretty soon, very soon, the city of Omaha is going to be building a parking garage, which will be about a block or two south of the Kiewit headquarters, if you can picture that. The area is now fenced in, and that's getting
Millwork
close.
Commons?
Millwork Commons is a little bit to the northeast. That's more north.
That's a different parking garage?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good point, Trenton. They're getting one as well. So there'll be one on the east side of Millwork Commons and one on the little more medium to south side of the Builders District. But Builders District and Millwork Commons are next door neighbors.
Well, in addition to the mass timber building that Noddle completed and is getting tenants in and can use some more tenants, I wouldn't be surprised if you see a hotel there and more apartments and things like that.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a condo either. Noddle Companies has already built a little pocket park that is just west of the Kiewit complex. So call it between 16th and 17th Street. It's done, but it's not really open very much to the public. It's my understanding that there's going to be a lot built around it, and then it will integrate with the things that are going to be built.
And what's really important, all these developments we talk about, even the Civic Square District where the Civic Auditorium used to be, Millwork Commons, the Builders District, they talk to each other, and the city wants connectivity, and so people aren't just going to these islands, right? They want connectivity throughout that area.
Absolutely. And that is your Noddle Companies Commercial Real Estate Development Spotlight of the Week, noddlecompanies.com. Well, this is going to be a little bit fun to talk about, Trenton. We're going to talk about exceptionally, extremely, rarely wealthy people. And another way to refer to these folks is billionaires.
Yes.
So there are a lot of billionaires in the United States. You might be familiar with the Forbes 400, which lists the known 400 richest people in the world. And I'm looking at a couple different websites from visualcapitalist.com. They do some really interesting things. I read a lot of the reports at visualcapitalist.com. And there are a couple of them that have been released fairly recently that involve billionaires. And the first one is the number of billionaires in each state. Now, Nebraska, according to this, has 4 billionaires. Now, it might not seem like a lot, but that is more than Kansas or Iowa. There's one in South Dakota, one in North Dakota. Missouri has 8. Colorado has 13. Wyoming has 7 because of the no state income tax, presumably.
Well, I will bet less than $1 billion that we have. I'm going to go with the over-under of 10. What would you? So what we're saying is,
the real number?
The real number in Nebraska. Now, one name that people don't really talk about that I haven't heard, but it makes sense, is the owner of the Buckle, which is Daniel Hirschfeld in Kearney,
Nebraska.
And that's news to me. I'm not surprised at all. Henry Davis of Great Omaha Packing, he's really risen in the ranks as far as billionaires. I think it showed in the paper it was like $3.2 billion not too long ago. And obviously Warren Buffett is $100 billion plus, but he's been giving away a lot of it. But there are a lot of families, and depending on how you break it up, Walter Scott obviously is no longer with us, but he obviously had several $1 billion. So
he was a billionaire. Someone has that money.
Yeah, that money's still, a lot of that's still here. And so we don't know the true number because a lot of it's family money and private holding company and stuff. But you can certainly imagine what it is and kind of look online and stuff like that. But do you think it's more than 10 or less than 10?
I'm going to say, because I'm with you. I believe there are really more billionaires than we think, and probably in almost every state. That's the truth. I'm going to say the real number is 8.
Okay, so you're taking the under.
Yeah, pulled that out of just my backside. But I'm gonna say that it's 8. I do believe it's more than the 4 that's reported here. But then, like you say, that like we were saying earlier, sometimes the extended family could together certainly be billionaires, but it's broken up among adult siblings, so technically not any one of them is a billionaire. So there could be a lot of those situations.
The good news is a lot of that money stays local, and a lot of foundations. The Doherty Foundation is one that gets some press, but should probably get more. Certainly the Lozier family, they should be on that list as well, but you don't see that published very often.
So the state with the most billionaires is California with 199. New York is second with 136. Florida third at 117, and Texas fourth at 83. One other thing from Visual Capitalist before we take our final break of the hour. There was another map that they provided, and it said states adding or losing billionaires between 2015 and 2025. According to this map, Nebraska is up 2 billionaires today from what we had in 2015. Again, I'm surprised. I'm not entirely sure about that because I thought we had 3 or 4 even back then. But who knows? According to this, we have gained 2. Most states have gained some, but some states like Idaho, Wyoming, Oklahoma, Wisconsin, Michigan, Indiana, West Virginia, and New Jersey have lost billionaires.
That's got to be expensive for those states.
And that is the wrap up for this segment of the show. And you know what that means. When we come back, it'll be time for your Perkins Kreitzer Construction Lightning Round, in which we give you a lot of retail and restaurant news in a very quick amount of time. So stay with us. Perkins Kreitzer Construction Lightning Round is coming up. You're listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's, along with Cheer Athletics on News Radio 1110 KFAB. It's the Perkins Kreitzer Construction Lightning Round, in which we talk about a lot of things super fast. Thank you to Perkins Kreitzer Construction for making it possible. Dave Kreitzer is the leader there, and a lot of times Dave will send us little things that they're working on, sometimes big things, that actually make it in to the Perkins Kreitzer Construction Lightning Round. In recent weeks, we've talked about them building a jewelry store in Village Point, about building a new event space that will be in North Downtown, taking over the former Urban Outfitters space. And we've also recently talked about the Popeyes restaurant building southeast of 168th and Maple that's under construction. A lot of people ask about that one. It is still under construction. Popeyes has changed a lot during the process, but it is still on target to open this fall, getting really close. But PC, Perkins Kreitzer Construction, they do a great job. If you're thinking about building, whether it's from the ground up building of any size or an interior renovation of a retail or office bay, give them a call or find them online at p-cconstruction.com. That's p-cconstruction.com. Hawaiian Brothers will open its second Omaha restaurant Monday, September 8th. A lot of fans of that chain are looking forward to it. The address is 704 North 114th in Miracle Hills, and the grand opening Monday is at 11 o'clock. And get this, ladies and gentlemen, first 100 customers in line get a free T-shirt and a Hawaiian Brothers gift card that could, on the small end, be $25 or the high end, $500.
Wow. I love Hawaiian Brothers, and the Hodges family that own those in Omaha do a wonderful job with their restaurants.
And this is a restaurant that is out of Kansas City. And Trenton's talking about the local franchisee, but it's known for the Hawaiian plate lunch, which is chicken or pork, macaroni salad, a bed of steamed rice, veggies, and Dole soft serve for dessert.
And you can even get fried spam there.
Sign me up. All right, couple other things. Construction has started on a Dairy Queen store, 132nd and Millard Avenue. Former Paul's Millard Sinclair will be a Dairy Queen. And then we have a second location of BBQ Chicken. It is opened at 1028 South 74th Plaza, which is 74th and Pacific, in the former Curry Indian restaurant. It's next to an existing Eileen Cookies. But BBQ Chicken is out of Seoul, South Korea, all over the country. And like I said, second location. Their first one in Omaha is on 132nd Street, just a little north of Center. All right, moving right along. La Plaza Fiesta, a Sioux Falls, South Dakota-based Mexican restaurant, has now opened its first Omaha restaurant, 124th and West Center, in the former El Vallarta, former McAllister's, former Hooters space. In Westwood Plaza, known for margaritas and scratch-made menu. And if you're looking for a new Mexican place, you might want to give them a try. Holy Grounds Coffee House and Gifts opened last month, 194th and Harrison Street. It is a faith-based coffee shop and gift store that sources locally roasted coffee and offers cafe fare alongside a retail selection.
Maddie Grave and I sold that land.
Oh, you sold that land to Holy Grounds?
Yeah, it's a beautiful building. Go check it out. Really nice operator.
The Peregrine Hotel at 18th and Douglas Street downtown plans to launch 2 new dining concepts in late October. One of them is the Perch Rooftop, which will open on top of the building. It'll be open year-round. They've had a rooftop up there, but I'm not so sure it's been open a lot.
You and I have been up there together.
When it was brand new.
Right.
And then they also have a restaurant called the Gilded Feather, a full-service restaurant that will be on the lower level. Paper Crane Books and Tattoo plans to open Saturday, September 27th at 735 North 120th Street. This is a unique place.
Yes, it is.
It is an indie bookstore and licensed tattoo and piercing studio in one. You don't see that every day.
Never been done before.
Probably not. Another place that is kind of interesting is the Cannabis Factory. And it's not interesting because it's unique. There's a lot of them in town.
We need more.
But the Cannabis Factory at 3434 South 84th Street in the Westgate area, in a former Omaha Fire Department hazmat facility, is unique because they'll have a 24-hour drive-through window. So if you have certain needs for whatever type of cannabis is legal to sell here in Nebraska,
even though it's not technically legal,
you can drive right up and get some. And finally, Omaha Restaurant Week coming up will take place September 12th through 21. Keep your eyes open for details about that if you want to try a lot of different places. And with that, we're done. I'm Jeff Beals.
And I'm Trenton Magid.
You have been listening to Grow Omaha. It is brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, along with Cheer Athletics. We'll chat with you next week at 9 o'clock right here on News Radio 1110 KFAB.